There we go.
Did the engine sound the way it sounded before when you brought it back?
No, it sounded like it was perfectly fine. Nothing was kicking out. It was quiet. It was a quiet engine when I brought it back.
Start it up for me.
Yep. All right. Keys. All right. All right, back on.
Step on the gas.
Gotcha. Ooh. It's now rattling and shaking inside the car a little bit.
It's because it's misfired.
Yeah.
The check engine light should be on.
Actually, it's not.
It's not on?
It's not on. You can smell the antifreeze, though. Bad.
Okay, you can shut it off.
All right. Whew.
Did it have smoke coming out the tailpipe when you brought it?
No. When I brought it back the first and second time, there was no smoke out the back. Wasn't making any crazy sounds or anything else. It was just boiling out the reservoir. Top hose was boiling hot. And the bottom hose, when I could touch it right here without touching the top hose, was nice and cold. Everything was cold.
And again, milky oil, which means the head gasket is blown in two spots now. It's blown between the oil port and it's blown between the cylinder where it's mixing with the oil ports and mixing the antifreeze and the oil, and then in the cylinders is allowing coolant to enter the cylinders and be burned off by the spark plugs, which means all the smoke out the tailpipe. And if it wasn't doing that before, then that means this car was ran again and the head gasket was blown again twice.
So it may have been brought back the first time with a blown head gasket, and then while they're working on it or something else happened while it was here that caused it to blow a second time in a different spot.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Because usually a head gasket doesn't, it's usually one or the other. It's usually mixing the oil or burning the antifreeze. And sometimes it could be burning fuel too.
Yeah.
But it's doing both. And if it wasn't doing that before, that means it was overheated again while in their possession.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I would assume if it was smoking when I brought it back, they would tell me immediately, not 4 days later. You know, I drop it off on a Friday and they're calling me on a Monday when they were working on it all weekend to look at it.
Yep. That's an immediate, as soon as you start it out, that's an immediate telltale sign of a blown head gasket. White smoke coming out the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Indicates burning of antifreeze.
And yeah, it's not on the paper of any kind of smoke or any other issue, so it wasn't like that when they had it the first time. I think we got everything. All I gotta do now is just get an estimate from them for the second job of what they possibly did, what they would charge and stuff like that, go from there. And after that, I'll get my tow, get it out of here.
Yep. And like I said, make sure you get in writing what exactly diagnostic steps they took that led them to the conclusion of a blown head gasket.
Which I'll go get right now from them.
Like pretty much, how do y'all know it's got a blown head gasket? What did y'all do to determine that it had a blown head gasket?
Yeah.
Because then you can ask them, well, why wasn't these procedures done the first time I brought it here.
I know I asked the regional manager that because he said they did a little test that took about 30 minutes where they hook it up to the coolant system. I said, how come it wasn't done the first time? And the regional manager told me on the phone was, it's not necessary because they thought they had the problem the first time around. So they didn't think that they had to do the coolant check until the second time, which has us where we are right now.
Yep. Well, me as a mechanic, if I get a car that I know has severely overheated, the first thing I'm going to do is check to make sure it doesn't have a blown head gasket, because it's going to be a waste of time to do anything else.
Yeah.
If it's not going to, if you're going to go right back to the...
Yeah, you're not replacing a thermostat that has a blown head gasket. You're not wasting your time. You're replacing radiator hoses that has a blown head gasket.
Now the radiator hoses, and in this case, I can relate to it because it was blown. So you got to replace it in order to do the test that you need to do.
Understandable. I misspoke on that one. I gotcha.
But once that test is done and you can see it's got a blown head gasket, everything should have stopped right there.
Yeah.
Like, why would you change the oil?
Yeah. Or if you're seeing it that it came out creamy, you should stop right there and give me a call. Like, they had the car for the first time 48 hours. Yeah, they had it for 48 hours the first time. That's plenty of time to see that something was wrong with it.
Yep. And if it was blown, it's going to look exactly the way it's looking right now.
Yeah.
As soon as they hit that drain plug, I would have just put it right back up in there and be like, this got a blown head gasket. There ain't no point in changing the oil. Because as soon as you start it up, it's going to go right back. You just wasted oil at that point.
That's telling you that it wasn't blown.
Exactly. For them to change the oil, that's saying that it wasn't like that when you brought it here.
So the second time.
And because they didn't properly diagnose it, like you said, that's what brings us back here today.
Gotcha.
There's no way a car that's ready to go should overheat in 45 minutes.
Yeah. Not even, especially when it had a break in between.
Yep.
Like, I literally had to park for 45 minutes, drove it again, and it just...
Yeah, see, when I do anything with the cooling system, I let the car run at least an hour.
Yeah.
Because I need to make sure these cooling fans come on and shut off when they're supposed to. That right there will let me know everything is working the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Because if it was something wrong, when that cooling fan come on, it will not go off. If it doesn't go off, something wrong, because it's overheating.
Yeah.
And the cooling fan is, so that telling me they never did that.
Yeah.
Like I literally let them run for an hour. Then I'll take it for a drive.
Yeah. Always gonna be mad. She loves this car. This is more her baby than I am.
All right, wrap it up.
All right. Let me get the paperwork from them. Let's all get out of this heat.